handsome building, which unfortunately no longer exists, the story of the pupils and teachers of our school begins. We are gathered here this evening, pupils, teachers, and graduates, to celebrate 100 years of our school, the first school in the world to teach all subjects in the revived Hebrew language. In this historic picture, taken in April 1909, at the foot of the tower in North Jaffa, the town of Tel Aviv was established when 150 men and women drew lots, bought plots, and began building the town. 4 years earlier, in 1905, when the Turks still ruled in Palestine, Dr. Leib Matman Cohen and his wife, Fania, pasted notices on the walls of the houses in Jaffa, telling the inhabitants that they would be opening a school for youngsters where all subjects would be studied in Hebrew. The beginning was very modest and only 17 children signed up. People were skeptical and thought the venture would not succeed. But lo and behold, the school survived, employed good teachers, amongst them Dr. Bograshov and Dr. Mosinzon, and within a short space of time, the name of the gymnasia was known far and wide. And so, in the first Hebrew town, the new premises of the first Hebrew school were built. At the beginning of the school year in 1910, 195 pupils study in the new building. At that time, many families leave Jaffa for Tel Aviv, and in that same year, 60 new houses surround the new school. The gymnasia becomes the center of social and cultural activity in Tel Aviv, and the numbers of pupils in the gymnasia continues to grow rapidly. The town of Tel Aviv is developing rapidly. During the Second World War, the Jewish population in the country is in a frenzy as Rommel marches forward in an attempt to conquer Egypt. But here at the gymnasia, things go on as usual. The youngsters enjoy themselves at the seafront, play hopscotch and other games, and look at the Australian soldiers posted here with curiosity. Many of the older pupils in the school join the Haganah, the Etzel, and the Lehi, and train and prepare for future developments. The war ends, and the gates of Palestine are closed to surviving Jews. There is internal struggle, conflict, and friction between the British, Arabs, and Jews. Finally, in November 1947, the United Nations decides on the partition of the country. The citizens of Israel rejoice, and the pupils of the gymnasia celebrate the joyous occasion. In May 1948, David Ben-Gurion announces the establishment of the Jewish state of Israel. The next day, Tel Aviv is bombed by the Egyptian planes and Arab armies invade Israel. 75 of the school's pupils fall in the War of Independence. 100 men and women sacrificed their lives in the First World War, the Second World War, and the War of Independence. The names of these former students and another 120 schoolmates who fight and die in Israel's wars are carved in stone on the wall in the main entrance of the school. All told, 224 graduates and teachers have fallen in the defense of the state. The history of our school is intertwined with the history of the fledgling country. And the gymnasia continues to flourish and grow. In 1958, the school moves to a newer, bigger building. Today, with a school population of over 1,700 pupils, children study cinema and media, electronic computers, pre-medical studies, languages, social sciences, as well as physics, chemistry, and biology, using new techniques and new learning and teaching devices. Yoni, one of our graduates, speaks. It is a great honor to have studied at the gymnasia. Today, on the completion of 4 years in the army, I realized how much the gymnasia gave me, increased and expanded my horizons, and helped me reach heights which otherwise I would not have attained. And so, In 100 years of educational activity, which began in Jaffa with 17 pupils in 1905, the Gymnasia has produced thousands of excellent pupils, amongst them a prime minister, cabinet ministers, members of parliament, Israel Prize Award winners, poets, actors, authors, journalists, high-ranking army officers, artists, judges, doctors, scientists, economists, and others. This evening, we salute the Gymnasia and its achievements.